All right. Good morning, everybody. How you doing on this fine Thursday, this fine Friday Eve? Welcome to February. Happy February 2024. Happy Black History Month. Let's do some great things to make our ancestors proud and make sure that we utilize the economic tools available that they fought and died for us to be able to take advantage of. So, for you guys who don't know, if you're new here, you just stumbled upon it. This is our pre-market prep session where we go over all the important news, notes, analysis, information, and trade ideas heading into the trading day. It's at 8:45 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And yeah, we're getting into it. Usually I don't have on the glasses because of the glare they have from the light, but I figured I might start mixing them in here. Um, just to make sure that I'm not looking directly into the spotlight while also using my not so 2020 vision to try and go over this newsletter. But I hope everybody had a great night's sleep, ready to get after it today. Yesterday, we had to bite some red. We were aware and very tactile when it came to the Fed minutes and Jerome Powell speaking. Didn't really look to do too much on that front, just focus on good quality individual names, not the indexes, because the indexes have not done much over the course of the past week. So we've had, success playing individual names, but really just focusing on the individuals and executing based off those. We got some, some Disney letting us down, which has been kind of rare over the course of the past few weeks, but does happen. You're going to milk something until no more milk comes out. So we'll keep an eye on that. And then we're also looking at Eli Lilly, which had such a great daily setup. Still going to watch because there have been a lot of stocks that have been teasing daily out. They'll test it, fail, and then they get it and they explode right on that third time. So it's really just market makers trying to, if there's too many people in, they're gonna be like, let's see how committed they are to really, really taking advantage of this breakout, right? Let's see if they'll set not just one alert, but two alerts or three alerts. So you keep those things, in the back pocket and you pay attention to them. Banks looking really good, having a nice run here, as I believe they will all of 2024. And what else? Yeah, just getting into what we have going on today. So everybody, whether you're watching live or via replay, drop a one in the chat. Right? If you did not do it in January, make for darn sure you do it in February. Wake up every single day with intentions. State those intentions. Make it known and find a community that you can do that with each and every day that's pushing you forward in order to accomplish them. We got a new month, the second month of 2024. People were saying it felt like January was 3 months. Did not for me. For me, it felt like it flew by, right? But I'm glad at the fact that it flew by. Why? Because each and every day I was getting a little bit better. So I know I don't even have to guess. I don't have to be anxious about it. I know I got better over the course of that month and that I closed the gap between where I am and where I want to be. Right. And I got a little bit closer to those goals. So that's what you want to aim at doing. Congratulations to all the people that executed in January and started their stock options journey. There are a number of you. I think that's an amazing thing to do, especially going into this year when there is such easy layup opportunity. Layup is that shot in basketball where you walk up to the court and you literally just flick it and it goes in. That's what this year is with interest rates going down. Make sure you don't miss out on this extremely easy layup opportunity that will come to a lot of different sectors that are still being down, right? You don't want to have that limited mindset or that defeatist mindset where it's like, oh, well, I already missed, Microsoft is at new all-time high. I missed everything again. No, you didn't, right? There's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of publicly traded stocks. You did not miss everything, but you will miss things if you continuously choose to not execute. So let's all choose to consciously execute in February of 2024. Get after it. Make ourselves proud. In terms of our top news here, reality check. So we're going into some mixed reality data. All eyes are on technology earnings this afternoon as Amazon, Apple, and Meta report on the last slate of big tech results. Apple investors have an additional reason to be on the lookout with the company's first major product release since the Apple Watch came to market in 2015. It's a big deal for a tech giant that's been pulling levers to boost its revenue growth, which has now declined for 4 straight quarters. Though fiscal 2024 looks slightly better, with sales growth expected to rise 3.4% year over year. Now, era of spatial computing, called the Vision Pro, Apple's mixed reality headset will launch in the US tomorrow, just hours after shareholders see the company's latest financials. Quote, expect some conference call comments. The device starts at $34.99, $3,500, meaning it could be a, quote, very niche product for a while. And while skepticism exists in some circles, others are more optimistic. 2 years from now, we see this as being a $1,500 device that will resemble sunglasses, Wedbush Securities analyst Dan Ives told Seeking Alpha. This is just the first version of a broader strategy. Then why get it, right? I get it for the clout, maybe. I actually don't. I don't get it for the clout. If I know something is going to be significantly cheaper, probably even sooner than 2 years, I'm just not gonna buy it. Like honestly, you get an Apple Vision Pro. Some people like, hey, cool. They try it on, maybe 5 minutes. You got to get them in the house to even do that. And then they're like, oh, nice. And then they just worry about something else. So like, please, for the love of everything good in this world, if you're not in a place to flush 10K down the toilet, don't go get an Apple Vision Pro. It is as simple as that. I don't care if they have buy now, pay later. That is an updated form of slavery that unfortunately has taken root and really, really, really put a lot of people in the hole. I don't care if you can buy it now and pay it later. You still got to pay at some point. So let's not be indentured servants to commercialism, especially when no one cares, right? At the end of the day, like you do this flex, you do that flex. No one genuinely cares for long enough for it to be worth it. So just live a life that you like to live and don't put yourself in debt or in the hole over something like this Vision Pro, which is probably cool, yes, but also apparently it's super heavy, makes your neck tired. Like you don't want something weighing down your pockets and weighing down your head. So yeah, that's just how I feel about it. Plus, they don't debut this in Europe for a reason. They don't debut this in other places for a reason. No one would pay for it. It's only in America that people pay for this stuff. That's why they debut it here, because they know that we're suckers to purchase it, right? So if you don't purchase it, then you're all good, right? If we all collectively agreed to stop trying to look so cool, we would be much better off in terms of what's forced down our throats from a product standpoint. Right? Because in Europe, everybody just says, no, I'm not buying a phone that's $2,000, right? And then what happens? They don't get a phone that's $2,000. In the US, everybody wants the phone that's $2,000 to show the fact that they have the phone that's $2,000, right? So yeah, if we all collectively just sit this one out, maybe things start to change. I don't know. It's more of an internal change than an external change, though, and that's a whole nother beast to tackle, ain't it? In terms of popular features that can make users feel like Tony Stark, with the ability to type without a keyboard, gesture in mid-air to control the interface, and the presence of apps that can float in their workspace. The Vision Pro also uses eyesight technology that reveals a user's eyes and alerts others to know when a person is using apps or immersed in an experience, alleviating the feeling of isolation often associated with other headsets. An R1 chip is on board to help the device's M2 chip process input from 12 cameras, 5 sensors, and 6 microphones. But similar to the Meta Quest Pro, the Vision Pro only has about 2 hours of battery life before needing an outlet. In terms of outlook, the global headset market is expected to hit roughly $12.5 billion this year before reaching $57.2 billion by 2029, according to Precedence Research. Assuming Apple had 50% of the market by 2029, it has 53% of the U.S. smartphone market. That would be worth slightly more than $28 billion in annual revenue. The degree of success of Apple's new headset will also heavily depend on third-party developer support and the time needed to build apps and features. Is this the next iPhone moment for the company? We'll have to wait and see, right? Only history will tell. I do think it's significant that a number of other tech companies said they're not developing apps for the Vision Pro headset. I think that, maybe they're tired of the Apple dominance and they're like, hey, we're not going to empower this product to be any more successful, than it will be by your own hand. So a lot of different applications and companies have come out and said, hey, we're not making apps for the Vision Pro. And that's definitely annoying and a blow to Apple, but it is what it is. They got to keep it pushing. Do I think headsets will be, important? Yes, they'll definitely play a role. I don't know if you guys have seen like Ready Player One or anything like that. Unfortunately, I could definitely see the world getting to a space like that, especially depending on what happens with AI, universal basic income. Like I feel like it can get to a point where, somebody is given kind of in the future at some point. I don't know if the near future or the far future, but, AI kind of runs everything. Everyone gets a universal basic income, and you kind of live in like this escapist headset all the time. In like your real life or the life that you most enjoy is the one that's online. So it's a very weird and bleak thing to think about, but it's also something where all the elements are there. So it's just something that you kind of have to think about. But if you haven't it's a fun watch. You can watch it with the kids too. Ready Player One. So I just saw it for the first time a few days ago, after people had told me good things about it, and it was kind of right in that vein. So it's funny to see it, potentially happening here, with this headset. And again, different from the Meta Quest, because Meta Quest was all VR, and this one is like VR plus AR. It's mixed reality, so you can see, but it's just you see things kind of like in Iron Man with Jarvis. You see things that are floating around in the real world. In terms of economic news, March Madness, it's settled. There will likely be no interest rate cut next month, although Fed Chair Jerome Powell signaled it could happen at some point this year. Quote, I don't think it's likely that the committee will reach a level of confidence by the time of the March meeting to identify March as the time to do that. We'll see, Jerome. We'll see. You have flipped on a dime before. He said that after the Fed maintained its policy rate at 5.25 to 5.5% yet again. Quote, we need to see more evidence that tells us we are on a sustainable path to 2% inflation. Such confirmation and other hawkish comments push stock markets and yields lower. Quote, Powell is concerned about the timing of the cut, that the timing of the cut has to be immaculate, noted Yimin Zhu on behalf of investing group leader Sestrian Capital Research. Quote, cutting too soon risks a return of inflation, but cutting too late can trigger an economic downturn. Yeah, I mean, Powell has to keep up a script. I think at this point they know when they're going to decrease rates. I think they're very knowledgeable of that. He's just got to keep hammering home that same script, right? Tough on inflation, got to reach a target, And I think when it happens, it will be like more so a surprise. So yeah, I'm interested to keep our ears to the streets here, but I still think there's a chance that we get those rates happening next month, those rate cuts happening next month. And I don't think that they push them off for much longer. I'd say within the next 3 months, right? I'd expect these rates to start dropping. And we'll see what the market gives us, because again, it doesn't give a crap about my expectations or really anything to do with me. So me saying that honestly doesn't mean diddly squat, but this is just based off of coming here each and every day, investing a bit in myself and picking up little bits of information that are happening around me that allow me to construct a picture of the future that's clearer than not, right? So I just think that we're at that spot where it'll be coming soon. It'll be coming soon. So you just got to be patient and wait on it. In terms of media news, Disney versus DeSantis. Federal Judge Alan Windsor has dismissed Disney's lawsuit against Florida Governor Ron DeSantis and other state officials, saying that the company lacked legal standing to sue the defendants on a claim that they violated its free speech rights. The saga began with a controversy over the Parental Rights in Education Act, commonly referred to as the Don't Say Gay law, but quickly escalated to other areas. DeSantis' press secretary, Jeremy Redfern, hailed the ruling, saying, quote, the days of Disney controlling its own government and being placed above the law are long gone. Disney, on the other hand, plans to press forward with its case, saying if the ruling was left unchallenged, it would, quote, set a dangerous precedent. So, yeah, I mean, Disney's been embroiled in this legal battle with DeSantis in the state of Florida for a bit, and it's cost both sides. So I don't see it like kind of ending anytime soon, since neither side is really backing down. But heads did roll, right, in terms of like executives that kind of spurred this problem from Disney's side. And I don't know, it's not the best for business. But that's kind of a little update in that saga that we hadn't heard there for a bit. In terms of financials, regional scare, New York Community Bank Corp, ticker NYCB, sank nearly 38% on Wednesday after the bank swung to a surprise Q4 loss as it prepared for stricter capital requirements due to the acquisition of Flagstar Bank in 2022 and Signature Bank in 2023. NYCB added to its reserves and cut its dividend as its assets crossed the $100 billion threshold, while commercial real estate concerns compounded the worries. Note that the NYCB had an SA quant dividend safety grade of D+. Doesn't sound good. The disappointing results reignited regional bank fears, with the SPDR S&P Regional Banking ETF ticker KRE sliding 5.9%. Investing group leader Trapping Value believes it will take at least 6 quarters to rebuild confidence in NYCB. In terms of today's data, we got a few pieces of data pre-market. Initial jobless claims at 8:30 a.m. We have PMI manufacturing index at 9:45, ISM manufacturing index at 10 a.m. So we have two pieces of data, one at 9:45, one at 10 a.m. that can kind of, mix things up today. Again, we've got huge companies reporting earnings after the bell, right? Huge, like some might say the biggest ever. We've got Apple, we've got Amazon, we've got Meta. So kind of the same thing as yesterday, where we can get a lot of chop, right? Don't be out here getting chopped up trying to force things and force opportunity if there's nothing there. The market is waiting to see what these trillion with a T dollar companies have in store. And it has no problem sitting there for a day, right? And expectations have been key, super, super key this week to not getting absolutely destroyed. Because if you haven't checked out SPY or QQQ, it's been an absolute chop fest, a destructive chop fest. So we've made a beautiful pivot away from those, and it's been very nice for us in terms of capital preservation, which is very important. In terms of what else is happening, we'll finish up here with our rapid fire stock news rundown. Boeing suspends 2024 guidance amid safety issues with 737 MAX. That's not what you want to hear. More bad news for Boeing. Tesla hopes to stay under the radar by keeping CATL at arm's length. Don't even know what that is. Lululemon, ticker Lulu, extends 2024 share price decline amid new data. Biogen, ticker BIIB, scraps Aduhelm, will focus on other Alzheimer's drugs. Cigna, ticker CI, to sell Medicare business to nonprofit health insurer for $3.3 billion. Semiconductor, Qualcomm, ticker QCOM, pops as Q1 earnings top expectations. 14.2 million block of Albertsons shares being shopped by JP Morgan. And then Paramount, ticker PARA, gains on report of special independent committee. House passes bill to enhance child tax credit, revive business tax breaks. So that's it for today. February 1st, 2024. We got the second month of January right here. Not rushing to get that for that price. Yeah, exactly. We got the second month of January here, people. Excuse me, second month of 2024 here. Let's make sure that we're using it to its fullest, right? Time will continue to fly by, but all we can do is control what we can control. We can't slow down time, not yet, right? Neither can ChatGPT or the Apple Vision, Pro, but we can choose to. So let's resolve to do that each and every day. And again, if you're not here ripping and running with markets with us, don't let another month, another 6 months, another quarter, right, another year pass by where you're sitting there looking at all the opportunity that is moving by you when you have just as much entitlement to the opportunity as others, right? And you're smart enough to do it, because you don't have to be a rocket scientist to really do most things in life right now. You just got to have the willingness. Make sure you have that willingness. Let's have a great day today. I've got an appointment at 1 p.m. So for my people in the trading group, I will be out of here away from the desk by like 11:30. So that's just a heads up. But let's have a great day, everybody. I'll see you back here tomorrow morning for our next Premarket Prep session. Have a good one.